space engineers. Well, I guess Factorio engineers. And welcome back to the Factory Must Grow. Uh, where last we left off, we had completed day one of building a factory. And unfortunately, that is where we must now go back to because it turns out I failed to set 2 or 3 incredibly critical settings when I first started recording. Firstly, I forgot to set up a replay file. If you set the replay flag when you first create a world, you'll get to replay the whole factory eventually. Whereas if you fail to do so, you can never go back and enable it. Second, I forgot to disable some mods, which obviously I wanted. So let's do that now. Mods, no mods, please. Confirm. Whoa. Yeah. And third, I failed to actually set up a... Oh, this is still not going to work because unfortunately I've got the uh, the mod enabled in this one. No matter. We'll just quick node. So third, I forgot to actually create a recording saved file. So I think the day will come where I want to play back this factory. I am going to go ahead and cheaty face my iron, copper, coal, and oil to maximum because I'd rather have fun playing the game than worry about playing it quote-unquote perfectly or fairly. I am leaving the size and of the patches low enough that I do need to still expand. This was a map I had found that I like. It's got inconveniently located iron patches, but I can expand eastward if I want to have a fairly direct pathway to oil, and it's in a kind of a peninsula-ish area to start. That was a little bit better. This is wide open on all sides to biter attacks, but that's the only real downside to it. I don't see a good spot for oil in any direction. There's some bad spots for oil, but not good spots. More than anything else, I just want to, especially since it's a redux of yesterday, I want to kind of just get on with the business of playing as soon as possible, since I'm limiting my time per day. It's a really, really bad openers. These are all very distant from each other, but I could potentially see this working. At sooner or later, I'm just gonna have to say, you know what, go for it. No matter what I get, it's not gonna be a perfect opener, and I'm gonna have to deal with what I get. Whatever map I pick, I'm stuck on for a very long time, so it's nice to pick a decent one. You know what? No trees sucks. Biter attacks will be worse, but nice clustering starting resources. I don't know. All resources very clustered tight. There we go. Core resources all clustered. Very hard to defend base layout with wide open land space. Plenty of supplemental resources if I'm willing to travel and work them, and oil to the north. I'm willing to make this one work. Let's just go. Okay, so day 1 times 2. We will focus today on just getting things going as quickly as possible, I guess, rather than worrying too much about details. Cool. Our goal, as previously alluded to, is to go north. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 conveniently located resource piles to work off of. Grab all that good stuff. To get another one of these is going to take more iron than I've got, so immediately start iron production. Thank you. And, alright, let that go. Please let there be coal in this. There was not. Is there any free coal around here anywhere? No free coal. Okay. Alright, we'll get that going. Smelt me some more. What's it gonna take to make this? More plates. Second burner drill is enabled and ready to go. If you could just use that as a coal repository for now, that'd be plenty. Yeah, this is more what I'm used to, running quickly back and forth between nearby structures to get what I need. Okay, another burner, please. First spot I want to stick a burner is here, so that we can have a self-perpetuating coal source for my ever-growing schmelty needs. Alright. One more, please. Thank you. Oh, we're gonna need more than one more. Alright, let's mine some rocks while we're waiting, or mine anything while we're waiting. Another burner. Here. Should have enough coal now to power most of this. Good. Good. Okay. Where are we gonna get stone? We got the big rocks early on, that's good. There is a big rock over here I can go for. Okay. In a half hour, it'd be nice if I have some basic automation going already. I think that might be a little aggressive considering I don't have a game plan, but we'll see. Good. Good. Alright, next. Now that's enough smelting to make a regular source of miners. Miners are now missing just a little bit of iron. Alright, so we've got a fairly good flow of resources going that way. Let's triple our coal, quadruple our coal production. So that should keep our coal production nice and high. Gonna get some copper production going. One more ought to do it. Alright, a couple more miner burners here. Okay. Now we're making all of the basic resources we need and hand feeding coal aplenty. Where's my stone mine? Stone mine is northeast. There are biters nearby on two fronts, so we're gonna get attacked early. I have a handgun, but not much else to work off of. So far, so good. Let's break some of these rocks, take some trees, and then come back. Oh man, that's a big rock. Oh, this one has coal in it. This one has 37 coal. That's a nice jump starter. I'll take 10 piles of tree. At least 8. I'm gonna need all these for power poles eventually, so. My mechanical forest that will replace the original. Ship crash here. I can set the power grid up To the south, presumably? Let's set the power grid up to the south. South is probably reasonable. Chop, chop, dig, dig, chop, chop, dig, dig. The stream is so much smoother right now. Make these on the way to wherever. One of those, a couple of these. All of you have run out. Excellent. Let's power that. These should all be nearly full of coal, so quickly power this, this. And now we should have enough resources to start making a bunch of stuff. We're gonna head to the stone mine and tap it quickly. Strictly speaking, not quite necessary at this stage of the game. Then we'll go ahead and make our research mod, boiler, and we're gonna need to make a couple of those engines. So all that's gonna get going by the by. Set all of you guys up. Actually, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna take this, do that, this, do that, that, boom. You drop some wood in here, just to empower it. Take the stack of stone. Should have enough for quite a few burners yet. Remember, these furnaces that I'm making, taking the stone for are needed for my boilers. So they have multi-uses. Alright, we got our factory going. We have power poles. A stack of power poles. I'd like conveyor belt to be on slot 2. Alright. Quickly run out the coal. Oh, wait, duh. This is the source. Good. That should be enough to get things going. I'm gonna need a huge stack of coal to take with me when I'm ready to make my power plant. I'm gonna want a giant array of power lines to come back. I'm gonna want a handful of pipes to set up the details, and I'm gonna need an offshore pump to pump the fluids. Good. After all that's done, you can start working on science packs for our first tier, which is automation, and please tell me that it allows me to set up research queues. Does not. Can I seriously not enable research queuing after starting a whole brand new map just for that purpose? Suck it. I bet you I didn't. Whatever. Future problems. If anyone knows how to turn that on. Oh, not here. Well, at least I've got always keep main player's item selected, so, or automatically choose when. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can up the graphics as well. Largest possible, high quality. All it's fine. Good. All right, back to the game. Uh, the replay is the one thing I really can't live without. There's nothing quite like putting 100 hours into a factory and then being like, oh, you didn't turn on recording, you can't play any of it back. All right. Looks like our steam pipes are ready to go. Let's scoop out another 50 of coal. And this is probably the best spot to build it. It's going to be highly smoke heavy, so piping it over to where it'll be buried in trees could at least reduce how much the buggers notice it, or the biters, or whatever we call them nowadays. And this is plenty of space to grow into a larger array. That's important as well. Boom. For now, we'll just do a straight line of this. Wrong one. We want wrong one. We want the boiler here attached to steam engines. Un, dos. Un. Make another one. What am I short? I'm short iron. Forget about it. Just drop another boiler. This is all set up okay. Plugged in, plugged in, plugged in, plugged in. Needs coal. Has coal. If I give an adequate supply of coal, how does that work? This burner inserter powers itself with coal, and then it powers whatever's next. So if you don't have power, it's the best way to get power. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, we have a grid, and we have power flowing through these lines. Yes, 1.8 megawatts. That should be enough to power our needs currently. Alright. Let's go. So now we're going to expand out to the side. Back to our main factory. And see kind of where we're at now. Okay, not bad. We'll drop the tech center. We'll drop the box. We need some inserters here. And boom. Load the science, please. This is not the final configuration by a long shot. It's just a starter, but it'll get things going. Let's throw down our radar as soon as we can so I can start detecting ideal expansion distances, directions, and locations. A couple of them actually. So radars will randomly like poke areas on the map and reveal them. They will also allow you to zoom in remotely instead of having to actually physically be at a location to see. I'll show you what I mean shortly. So this is the map view, and if I zoom all the way in here, I can see, but this fuzzy border I can't see through is because there's no radar deployed in that area. Okay, so automation's gonna finish on time. Let's put on some light armor while I'm at it. Make some more mags for my clip. Uh, now we can start making permanent miners. Let's get the next Steamio done. We've got enough coal to load the burners with for some time, so let's do that. Let's make our second steam engine. Oh, we already did that. Good. Obviously, we're going to need to power it. So let's do... Oh, good. Got automation complete. I can do gun turrets if I'm worried about being attacked. Or I can go with machine guns if I want to go on the offense, or logistics if I want to improve my building capability. Let's go logistics first, guns second. I can't queue things up because I forgot to turn that on. That's fine. It's fine. It's actually cool that I have to do it like manually for a bit. Okay, so we've got this, 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 this. Boom. So now this chest feeds this chest, and this chest feeds the second string of burners, except is it not pointed at the burner? Oh, it's pointing at the burner. Good. So now this system is going to run out of coal frequently because it's draining this into this. That's fine. This is the real power of the factory. I don't like it. I want it to be in both locations at once. How do I do that? Well, to do that, you put a central box right? And have it feed eh, into both. So now coals are dropped on the ground, coal is picked up off the ground and inserted into a burner when it needs it. 4 coal is good. Why am I not able to open this inventory? Do I not have a second? Oh, I never had a second boiler. That was an imaginary boiler. That's a what could be boiler. That's a problem. Now it's a boiler. And it's loaded. Okay, so they're both loaded off of one central supply of coal, keeping my factory well powered. Excellent. Hmm. Got about another half hour of this. Alright, let's start putting in some electrical miners and some automation machines to help me make them. This is essentially a very rich, very small patch. I'm gonna need a lot more copper than this if I'm gonna actually make anything work. But I will be able to acquire all that copper by the by. I'm just gonna need to tap a bigger copper mine. Otherwise the game will take forever with this small source. I'll have enough to get to last through the game, it'll just take forever. I finished making my assembler machines, so let's drop those down. I forget what number I usually use for those. I'll call it 5 for now. Now, what would I want assemblered at this stage? Well, I would definitely want a handful of boxes, please. Well, just these. I would absolutely want more of these inserters. I think the most pressing need I have is for transport belt. So if I could just get a bunch of that, that'd be great. In order to make that, I'm going to need to feed gears into this box too. So if we can do it this way and this way, we'll have this. So iron comes out, makes gears, iron comes out, gears comes in, and output comes here. Okay, we're gonna need to resupply everything. Good. Gears come here. Here. Okay, so iron gears come. That's where we'll make our belts. All we need is an endless supply of iron, which I can probably get to soon enough. I keep doing this. I keep meaning to make something and then making something else before I can. Okay, that's belt production. Fill it up. Next, we have a handful of miners to work with. Let's put them to use. Alright, we've got power lines coming through. Alright, good. We're gonna set up a... The goal here is to expand out... Was it north or east? Nikes, I can't remember. I want to say it was east, but it could have been north, and it doesn't matter. I shouldn't know that so well that I can plan ahead. Let's plan to go, let's plan to just go east and see what happens. So I'm gonna make my foundry over here for now, which means I want the iron to come directly south. And where's the coal patch? Here. The coal line will come this way and split two ways. Okay, I can make this work. All right, good. Good. Okay, we are out of burners. We have a stack of 18, but I could surely stand to have more. While I'm gone, please keep converting iron into belt. I'm gonna go to that stone booth I made way over here. This is not the stone patch I intend to win the game with, so I'm gonna extract it in full. I don't have an automated miner, huh? We're gonna have enough to make a gigantic foundry with, no problem. Maybe we just go north with it? I have no idea which the correct quote-unquote way to go is, but I'm just thinking what's convenient. Okay, so we got belts. Piping out iron. We will eventually have a belt coming this way with coal. Loop. Please keep making my transport belts while this black magic continues. I actually am not going to need these anymore because I have a permanent miner situation set up. For the time being, let's do this and just set up a single coal line. I'll turn this into a proper system some other time. Actually, mining gear shouldn't be that hard to make anymore, so maybe that time is now. Okay. So we have a coal line. How many belts? I love that. When you ignore it for a while and come back, you just have this huge stack of belts waiting for you. Coal line comes in, iron line comes in. Then we need to mux them together to make a string of iron. To do that, let's do the simple way for now, I guess. So, in they come. They get inserted here with... Oh, I don't have any inserters. Make a handful, please. Always the input will be the fast and the output will be slow. So in this circumstance, they will be input fast, and output will be over the shoulder. That's a little too close to the factory. That's a fair point. Let's just back it up one. like this should do the trick. All we need to do is connect it to power. But I see the problem. It has to be a little further apart like so. So that I have space for the red inserters. 5 to pull it back out. And we don't have to necessarily dump it on both sides. And that's where we have iron plates coming out. And then they can make their way back whichever direction the factory is going to expand north. So we'll send them north. This system technically should run until I'm out of resources. Or until there's a brownout. I forgot to power the factory in the south. No matter. This is why we keep this little complex of burners around. So that when I need a nice big handful of coal, I can just grab one. Oh, and before I go, let's make sure to turn on the belt filler and grab all the belt I can. And, why don't you keep turning that stuff into iron for me? What can I make on my way down there? Giant stack of power poles. Oh, I missed the power. Yep, whole grid went down. No problem. We'll just go ahead and load this box up with a bunch of coal, and that should keep the factory going for a little longer. The next time I do that, hopefully it'll be permanent. Oh, you see the problem? You need to jumpstart the system. It needs enough power to power the thing that will feed it coal to power it. Huge weak point to the whole system. I could lose my entire factory's power supply if that one crate gets destroyed. But I'm not worried about biters yet. It's pretty early in the game. We got plenty of power poles. We should actually work on running power down there at some point. Or not power, running a coal line to there eventually. So we have now a very slow working iron generation. And what we should do is reverse this direction. Have the iron come and leave the factory out north. And this is a little too close actually to... This is still too close to the production hub. I want there to be a nice large space to work with in case I need to put something else down here. Where do I actually want to come down to? I think I want to aim for that crack maybe. While I'm out, please fill with power, or fill up with belts. And I need to start making more of those too. So we're planning on building stuff down here and heading up through this crack, yeah? So when we do go through this crack, we're gonna have to work our way around these cliffs. What is it called? Oh, I have a lot of names here. Factorio, I think, and we're gonna call this save file number 1. And mercifully, it has no mods. Now I can always load if I die, which is the key. Well, that armor I made is paying dividends, as is the extra ammo clip that I picked up. If we were to make a northward bound factory, we would rapidly run into this stuff in the way. I can clear some of these biter bases. It's not like they're invincible or anything, but it's gonna be a significant resource tax. Then we would run into oil here, and I can work with that. Now, what is that yellowy patch on the map? Oh, that's just my vision. Yeah, northward bound gets me another stone mine up there somewhere. It's not ideal, but it's sufficiently good. So yeah, okay. So northward bound factory is reasonable. So if so, I'm going to aim for this gap in the rocks, maybe, to be where my factory comes out of. No, this large gap. Large gap. The factory will just work its way straight through that large gap. And now that I've made up my mind on the overarching direction, let's do one of these. We are in line with my vision. What we're gonna do, we're gonna leave this road incomplete. I'm not gonna worry about this puddle just yet. When the time comes, if we have to work our way around it, we can. And if we have a better option like landfill options, we can use that instead. This is gonna be the exit point for iron from the factory, and it's just gonna come out the long way. If this seems like a lot of work for nothing, it's because I like the idea of leaving the space more or less untouched in this area. Make a huge stack of inserters. Just because they're going to be very useful going forward. These were fully backed up, so that's good. I like designing in such a way that I can not infinitely, that I can continuously expand production or usage until, oh, what happened? That was the wrong button. I can continuously expand it until such time as there's no longer a benefit to expanding it. So far, so good. So far, so good. Okay, we have 8 tupled our production. One thing you can do in this game, you can take a look at the production you have of any given resource over time. This is the last minute of my iron plate production. This is for the last 60 minutes, so the game started 30 minutes ago, and you can see how I had very high production when I was on coal, then it dropped, then it went up. If you look at consumption, it's very variable because I'm using it at random rates. By way of comparison, my extraction of resources, my iron ore extraction rates over the last hour, because as these fill up, they stop digging. I've efficiently extracted as much as I'm using, and that can help you decide if you're input bottlenecked or output bottlenecked, and then fix your bottlenecks. Okay, let's start. The other thing that I would like to start producing in Moss would be these inserters, but that's going to take a little bit more production ironing out before it's ready. Alright, couple hundred of that in reserve. And now I see where the road is trying to connect, so we'll build straight up through the trees. That will be the intended pathway of production for my factory. How are we going to get another ribbon of iron? We could do a lot of things, but what we will do, clearly this ribbon of iron is not being processed fast enough. It's going to need either a extension up and down, which I can do, or an extension left and right. And I vote for up and down, so... Oh, that's not good. We ran out. Well, we know how to deal with this, don't we? Grab another 120 belt. And drop off bunch of plate to make. Even, by the way, I don't mind getting some science packs going right now just by hand so that I can get the process started for the next science. Because what I'm about to do is going to take a while. I'm going to dig through the trees with no tools. Just my trusty hand axe. Later on, you get like cool deconstruction, reconstruction robots and assemblers, but that's like so far down the line, it's not even worth worrying about yet. Good, 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 good. Side effect, lots of power poles. Okay, we've got our first iron ribbon all the way up to and connected to the factory. While we're at it, we should get a coal line going. So if this was the coal line, how would I want to feed it down here? I guess I would make a splitter here-ish. No, I don't want the coal to run parallel to the belt, do I? Let's dig it underneath. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have a bunch of iron lines like so, and they're each going to cross through like so. So based on that, I would say the factory's coal supply can come up here. Or sorry, the engine's coal supply can come up here. That's way too far to be a dedicated coal supply, right? Yeah, okay. And come like so. Once we have logistics, we'll be able to do what I'm actually trying to do here. I'll skip around underneath or above or past the belts that are coming through, which I'm assuming is going to be a quad belt at this time. Or I should leave enough space for it to be a quad belt anyway. Booyah. Alright, so now what we're going to do is set this up so that if it was live, coal would be coming all the way to this point and would be flying out onto this. And it would proceed south and it would fill the rest of that box. Perfect. And eventually I'm going to fill that all in. You'll notice the iron in the factory has now made it all the way up through here and is waiting for the rest of the factory to come online. That's perfect. Let's do, instead of getting all the iron lines set, let's just double this because right now it's only filling half the belt. I want the other half filled too. And then we'll start immediately working on the copper lines. I think we need a bunch of inserters too to make a second foundry. So in order to fill two sides, we would need a similar setup on this side to fill this belt. So we would need end product goes onto belt. Oh no, but we want to leave this space clear. Whatever, they can join up a little later, that's fine. Here and here. This is why I like starting with so much space, so that running out of space doesn't become a consideration immediately. Close or far? Does it matter? What is being fed into this? Coal. Where am I getting coal? I'm getting coal through a coal line. It does not in its current form exist, but will come down this way. So we're gonna need insertion of coal. Like so. And then we need raw ingredients. Where are we getting raw iron ore? Through an iron ore belt. That comes here. We are out of belt. No problem. We will find some. How does 50 sound to you? Sounds like I need more of that. Did logistics stop being researched? Yeah, it did. Needs more red pots. Which needs more iron gear wheels. Which needs more skateboard tricks. Okay, so boom. Feed the iron in rapidly. Put the results on the belt, and out they go. Powered, 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 powered. Why is it not working? Right, because there's nothing on any of these belts. But if hypothetically iron was coming through here, and if hypothetically coal was coming through here, then we would hypothetically be able to double belt this, and we have a full iron belt going out. So whatever I do now, going down from here, needs to be mirrored and quadded. And then I can worry about gaining the actual resources to fill this line in later. For now, I did make a bunch of miners, so let's do this. Let's allow... This is going to be a nasty amount of extraction here for these tiny little frills, but that's still 9,700 iron that's worth tapping. So we'll do this, 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 this. I do want to fill both sides of this belt too to maximize throughput. And that should extract a lot of iron. "98 new transport belts." It's so good to automate some, like the belt production process itself. Alright, what does it take to make a science pack? Because I'm kind of irritated how much I keep coming back to this well. I want science packs. Science packs require copper and gear. Well, here's a ton of copper, so now all you need is gear. Okay? How are we going to get gears? Well, we're going to... Oh, we already have gears here. Whenever you need gears, just tap them off that, okay? There. Here's a bunch more iron for you. And here's an insertion direct, and here's power to everything. Alright, we ran out of power for the factory because we never actually got through researching logistics. No matter. We now have 200 of this, so we just go in, turn on the logistics power. Or turn on the coal power. I think we use this chest as our stop point. Oh, of course, it's not going to work. We're going to need to manually jumpstart the engines. There. That should be enough to get the factory going again. And hopefully we'll actually be able to use logistics to put permanent flow lines in soon. You know that thing I said about how let me try and get copper going before I build my full metal foundry? Yeah, clearly I broke my own idea in a matter of minutes. Alright, let's see here. This worked. We actually did automate this. And smarter than that even would be to put another chest here that just feeds in copper so that when this copper runs out, it'll replenish the stack. So now hopefully I will automate this research process a little bit. Where are we on biters? None coming? Good. I haven't upgraded the military science I need for turrets just yet. I'll take these. 300 fresh copper plates. Good. There we go. Mill signs. So now that we've automated red signs, and we're getting very much onto that, how long have we been on here? 40 minutes. Yeah, I have a little bit longer left. Um, Here's my problem. I want to use this iron pathway, but I don't think I need to. What am I trying to do here, guys? Let's imagine I hadn't done anything yet. Well, obviously the first iron pathway should be the far line, like so. Underground belt, crisscross, and in goes the iron. And the second iron line should be the near line. That's just the logical way I would have done it if I had planned ahead. So that's what we're going to do. And this can feed into here too. And now we can put a parallel string of miners. Then we can do another round right next to it. Another round. And now we've done it. We have a fully not compressed. Sorry, we have a fully automated method of extracting iron and turning it into good stuff. And we also have automated to a degree science pack production. Why is no... Oh, because we never did this. Okay, so now we're going to have to go ahead and fill in fuel lines. Okay, good. So split the fuel. Give me a little more space. What do I want next? I guess I definitely want gun turrets, so why don't you go ahead and start on gun turrets. You see, because I've automated red research, I keep getting random researches done. It's a great feeling. I think what I could do is do an underground belt directly through to feed this coal line. And a redonkulously complicated underground belt line across to feed this one. 2 coal lines full. 2 production lines full. Coal is being put onto this side. Sorry, iron is being put onto both sides of the belt. And if I ever feel like increasing iron production, all I have to do is keep going down until eventually I've run out of... until I hit the limit of how fast these particular kinds of insertions and belt lengths are going to work. And sloop. Oh, whoops. Sloopy. This is the best part of having these long conveyor belts. They all act like chests. I mean, look at that. If I run out of production at some point, I have a few hundred in reserve. Speaking of reserve, we need some bullets. I need a submachine gun, like, now. So that if I do get caught out by biters, I won't immediately just die. Alright, gun encampments is another good step in the right direction. I don't intend to learn steel just yet. I'm so far from being ready for it. I will take walling technology. I'll eventually need green science, so I'll start learning it now. Coal obviously is not meant to be such a pitiful production. Alright, so we're just gonna do, this. I want to be very careful not to include dual resources unless I'm planning for it. This is a dual. There's 2,300 copper. This is not. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, conveyor belt. Thank you. 228 extra conveyor belt is just fine with me. Oh, this is the wrong box. And now we'll fill this bad boy up with all that iron we slooped because Lord knows it's needed here more. And that will keep the research flowing. In the meantime, electric miners needs iron. Iron I just got rid of my mass storage of. I'll make some more electric miners. Just looping it up as I go because I need more of it and grabbing enough to make the miners. Alright, that should be enough. Let's get this fuel line in tow. Now we've got a solid amount of coal. Oh, before I lose power again, let's follow the coal line and fix any breaks. What's this here? This was supposed to be where the coal line splits off, right? So we'll stick a splitter here. This is supposed to be where the coal line goes underground. Maximize the length so that as many iron belts can fit as possible. This is supposed to be where the iron comes through. And look, we were already ready to run out of coal because we had no more in the insertion here. So I'll just fund us with our first 50. And there goes the next several hundred. Perfect. Good. Good. What am I going to do with all this extra coal? Just dump it in these furnaces. It'll get used eventually. Unload path. Unload path. Load up path. Load up path. Load path. Unload path. Crosswire the whole system. Oh, wait. We need to load with coal. Load with coal. Load with coal. Load with coal. Good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is oddly satisfying to build this. It feels really good to watch it all come to life as a result of your labors. It's like a logic puzzle to solve what will go where in order to make what happen. Alright, so we've got a iron belt coming up that makes full use of 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, 2 separate rows of iron. We also have the potential to double the number of miners in play. So when this iron, so we're gonna have 2 belts worth of iron coming off of here. That's something. Still working on science packets. Good. Our coal line can grow. I guess the next step would be the copper lines. We've got the iron lines coming like so and like so. So how are we gonna do the copper? I guess we can pipe it through a foundry here with the outputs coming this way. Could that work? We've lined this up with the edge of a cliff, so we would line this up through here, maybe? That's got a possibility. So when iron comes out of the factory, thought process, we don't want to hit the ship. So iron leaves the factory like so. Uh-huh. Good, 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 good. That would be the iron line. So here we've left enough space for 4 copper lines. And we're not obviously using all 4. So now we would leave room for an iron line to go through. Or a copper line or whatever. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I speak them der gooder Englishes. I'm gonna have to deal with that lake when we get to it and go on. Okay, so other things I would like. Now that I have a bona fide iron line, I would like to make a few quick requests. We're always gonna need more of these, but you need copper for that. We're always gonna need more of these, but you don't have those resources. Ah, you have the resources for this. Conveyor belt we're already making. We need conveyor belt plus iron to make undergrounds. So I want both of those things. So why don't you go ahead and make me gear wheels, and then go ahead and put those gear wheels into here to make me, actually better yet, why don't you make me gear wheels? I'll give you the iron. Then you use those gear wheels to make me belt. No, I had it right the first time. Alright, well, you make gear wheels. And you use the gear wheels. Why don't you also make gear wheels? Alright. So gear wheels into belt is here. So now we have belt coming out into here, which will make belt plus iron. More gears. Okay. So now gears are being made this way and being put into here. Belts are being made this way and being put into here. When it all adds up, it should be enough, maybe, to make me a giant stack of underground conveyor belts. And a giant stack of ordinary conveyor belts. Peachy. I'll take what you've got so far. You guys can keep... And because all this requires is iron, this is going to continue ad infinitum. So there's going to be hundreds of both ready for me at all times. Which means I can go up north and cannibalize this setup, which is no longer necessary. I no longer need to be making transport belts off of a mini box. I have a more long-term solution for that now. This can now be solely for the purposes of powering this. Although I would not mind having a stash of green chips, which you are brilliantly well suited to make up here. So why don't you go ahead and make copper wire and feed that directly into you, who makes the green chips. using these circuits. And I will eat the fruits of your labor down here. This is not even close to an efficient production long term, but it's bootstrap for now because that will make it much easier to make random stuffs along the way. What is this and why does it look ugly? It looks ugly because this is the heavy side and light side. Why is this the light side? Because the heavy side actually doesn't even get used in my current setup. I would need a belt much longer to process that much iron efficiently. And that would mean I would need to not be backed up. So if I just do this, I'll bet you. By suddenly creating a huge demand, I'm going to be able to get those grabbers to start working a bit more efficiently. And how are we doing on power? Plenty. Okay, so this is our output flow for iron. We've agreed. In order to accomplish that, we now need raw iron. Here are 2 strips of raw iron. We're going to need coal, which we are going to have to tap off of the main artery of the factory. See all those green chip requirements? I'm just going to take the stack of green chips and wipe out half of them. Also, not to define a point on it, but guys, here, take all this green, or all this metal. What was I looking for again? A couple splitters. Alright, so we have the main coal line. We have the... Ooh, thank you. Bigger guns. Doesn't require military... Oh, it does require steel. Let's get legit... Oh, I'm never gonna get that far with a green tech. Projectile damage might be a meaningful delay. Like stone walls. Lord knows you need them for everything else anyway. And we'll even take optics. Oh, it has to be done one at a time. That's fine. Go ahead. Come. Alright, what do I not like? I don't like this iron return line. I'm not going to worry about it because I can make another one elsewhere. Iron is coming out of this patch through a very finite number of drills. And by iron, I mean copper. God, gotta get that right. Just be very careful not to mix it with the coal. Okay. When the coal comes here, we're going to want to leave enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4. So we split it off that way. Not touching the iron below, obviously. And there we have coal. So now what? Now... at this point, I'm just taking whatever. Steel is clearly the root of a lot of recipes. Let's take steel. Now we need a way to turn raw iron 3 ribbons worth into, or raw copper into refined copper. The best way I can think to do this is mixed belts, actually. So let's do it. Okay. So for each belt of iron, or sorry, of copper, like so, we're going to leave plenty of space, because I don't want the foundries to hit each other. We haven't left enough space, actually. That's a good point. Okay. For each one that comes down, we're going to run it alongside the coal. Run both down the middle. And pull out each resource type. Okay, we're out of grabbies. Let's go grab the green chips that I know are waiting, which should speed up the process of making these things. Grab these. While we're at it, I'll take all the extra conveyor belt and underground belt you guys have made so far for myself. You see what I meant when I said this game's all about automating? Look how much more is being done while I'm not there, and I just pick it up when I come back. And just connect back to the grid somehow. I can always fix that later, that's fine. Just make sure it's connected for now. Okay, so now we have no fuel. And now we have fuel. And now we have iron, or sorry, copper coming through. And on the other side, if we do the exact same thing, we do near resource, far resource, boom, boom, output, output. Wait, whoa. Only one output. With or without a power pole, don't matter. Just not being anal about my pole placement today. My pole can do whatever it needs. And, so as long as I make an even number of furnaces on either side and there's even access, this should be roughly even. The only difference is these yellow ones are going to get upgraded to high speed placement at some point, but that's a future problem. Why does it feel like this is a wider track? It shouldn't, right? It's literally identical. The best thing is, the way this is arranged, yep. Let's get the resources going the right directions. And, whoa, what is that? We under attack? Oh, dang. A biter came all the way here to mess with my radar. Presumably from the northern base. Well, first blood has been drawn, and I think we are coming up on a good spot to end the first vid. Let us end, however, on a quick military victory. I have 30 bullets and a turret. I am unused to playing with biters. I'm going to have to remember that. Where's my turret? There it is. What am I doing? I'm going to go to fight him? Nah. Although it would behoove me to check out the pollution map and see just how aggressively Oh boy. It stinks and they don't like it. It hit there, and that triggered the first wave. Beware, they are coming. Well, as you can see, the iron and copper now both make it to the front of the factory. The coal flows to the south of the factory where it powers the steam engines without difficulty. And the residual holdover iron of the base is over 1,000, which is fantastic. Next time, we're going to work on a green chip foundry off this way and some combination of resources here to make a mall out of, I guess, or something. I don't know. We'll see. But, oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Good. The limiting factor here is now the copper, as it should be. And because I can do this, just because I can do this, I'm going to put a bit of unnecessary right into the middle of this. This whole thing's getting taken apart one day, but until it does get taken apart, I now have a permanent resupply of of copper, and a large static supply of iron feeding the red science as well as the green chip production. And because I have that, we will look at the formula here. We need green chips, gears, and plate. All right. How can I make this work? I can do long grab. I'll need another one of you. To here. Machine grab into here. Inserter. I need metal direct, huh? Ah. I'm so close to having a fully automated grabber production. Well, it's not fully automated, but it'll do for now. It also needs a refill of iron. Well, why shouldn't it be fully automated? Come on now. If this is an iron source down here, I don't want to fork it that far. Let's just do a short hop. The iron comes here to feed this. This is incredibly sloppily done. So we'll do this and this. We'll put the exact same iron box down here. And then we'll have a long arm inserter. Lose that for now. A long arm inserter here. Come on, you're so close. Think, damn it, think. Okay, this goes here, long arm inserter here, and make a grabber. Holy cow, that worked. No, it doesn't work. I've taken away the iron source from here. I didn't realize it was feeding direct. Oh boy. Okay. 2 chests, easy answer. Again, this is all temp anyway, so it's not worth optimizing. And now we have a output of grabbers to help us build a factory with. This kind of sloppy, slovenly stuff where you see that just a few core resources can be turned into something useful. Similar to how we did it here, though, where it's neat and tapped directly off of the main line of the factory. You can expect more of that next time over here. In the meantime, there's one other thing that I think is pressingly urgent to make, and that is bullet production. So we're going to do this. We're going to do tap it directly off of the main line and just make me bullets. And don't load them into a crate, load them into a turret. How much is a turret? Copper, plate, and gear. I can automate turret production. I should probably do that. Copper, plate, and gear. So copper is here. This is not the permanent solution. It's a temp solution so that when I get hit by biters out of the blue, I'm not completely defenseless. Alright, so that should allow for the production of turrets. Turrets I don't want to spend all my resources on, but I do want 100 of them. So now we're making bullets, and we also would like to have a lot of those because until the foreseeable future, that's my primary defense. Alright, we've automated defense production, or offense production, either way. I'll eventually set up a string of turrets guarding those passes so that those biters can't hit me. I'll kill those ones off. Maybe I'll seal the wall here and here. I'm wide open from the bottom, which means whatever this is going to get nastier. This was a hard base to defend, but I'm feeling pretty good about the opener so far. The copper factory obviously needs a lot of work. It's pretty rudimentary. The coal mining needs work, but we've automated red. We've gotten layouts for the rest of the factory, and that's good enough for now. Thank you all for watching Day 1 Factorio, and I'll see you guys next time.